So it says. So we start like from practical application. Fastening with the safety pins. So the sewing is in classic sense, right? Like when two threads like came out on the same side of this cloth, right? So meaning you go in, right, with the needle and go out. So that's sewing. So if you go in only one time, it's not sewing. It's not going to hold basically. But if you go 1 and 2, that's already significant. And same with safety pin, right? So for sure, like if you close the safety pin, it's permanent connection for sure. So if you go like in and out, so if it's on the same side, that would be an issue. Okay. So fastening with safety pin. There is a question whether fastening with the safety pin by threading the pin back and forth, as we said, back and forth through the item is and closing the end is considered form of sewing. I mean, resemble very much, as we understand. Many poskim hold that there is no difference, that it's no different than sewing with a thread. I mean, it may be even better. Whereas others contend that this is not considered sewing. A Torah opinion differentiates between attaching the pin temporarily and permanently. Since the issue involves possible biblical prohibition, we must adopt the stringent view. Before we continue, so 3 opinions. So one opinion that is forbidden to do that. Let's say is like it's obvious, but you go like in and out with this safety pin is going to hold. You close it, for sure it's going to hold. So how's the difference from sewing? Right. Second opinion, it's not considered with sewing. They have explanation, but okay. And the third opinion, it says if it's temporarily or permanently. So temporarily or permanently, whether or not you're going to remove. So if it's like in everybody's eyes, like you're not going to forget to remove, that's maybe a different story. Okay. So let's see. Since the issue involved the possible biblical prohibition, we must adopt the stringent view. However, there are circumstances in which use a pin can be permitted. Okay. So let's see. Number 1, inserting a pin only once. So as we said, that's not how you sew. Even though like you close the pin, but it's not so like through the two types of two pieces of material and closing, there is no problem. Passing thread through the fabric only once is not considered sewing at all. Okay, so we draw the parallel. Even if the ends of the thread are tight. I mean, tight, it's a different story. We're not allowed to make knots on what is it, on Shabbos and Yom Tov, but it is a different story. Let's say they tied like around something, so not tied with a knot. It is therefore permitted to pass safety pin through 2 pieces of fabric merely once and close the pin. Right, so meaning you can take a few safety pins. Right? To clarify, the pin should pierce the fabric only once and emerge on the opposite side. So meaning, so we should not have any like doubts. Only once and on the other sides, and that's it. You're closing. Practically speaking, one must do this near to the end of the item fastening, in order to be able to close the pin. I mean, of course, I mean, if you're going to do it in the middle of item, like it's not going to work. It's only on the edge. Okay, so it's very inconvenient, and as we understand, it's not going to work in in many cases. Okay. So next one, pinning temporarily. There is a view which permits sewing when the stitches will be left in place for less than 24 hours. and in case of necessity, less than 7 days. So that's a general rule that we must remember. So more strict opinion said in less than 24 hours, meaning by the end of the Shabbos, preferably, that we undo them, or like after Shabbos, like after Shabbos, but maximum 7 days. Okay. We do not rely on upon this view, but in regard to using safety pins, one may rely upon it, since some poskim permit to use the safety pin altogether. Like we're not talking about sewing, but safety pins, since some poskim say it is permitted altogether, so we can do it in a way that we're going to undo after Shabbos or after Yom Tov. Okay, so meaning it's like in your face, you're not going to forget. Thus, one may fasten items with the safety pins temporarily, for example, for less than 24 hours, even by passing the pin through the item twice. So again, since it's temporarily and you know for sure that you're going to undo, yes. Okay, so you can, yes, meaning rely on lenient opinion. However, it must be absolutely clear that attachment is a temporary nature. Okay, so meaning you have to indicate for yourself that it's or remind yourself not to forget to undo it. The pin must therefore be inserted in a manner that which ensure that it will be removed shortly, right? Meaning, okay, for example, if the hem came loose, one may fasten with a large safety pin that will be bothersome if left in place permanently, right? So meaning it's this hem came loose. So, I mean, it's so annoying, like it's going to hit your food or something like every time. So that's the problem. I mean, you remember to undo it. Okay. If one must use small pins, so that's the problem, because they're not going to bother you, right? He should thread them through the fabric in a manner that makes them somewhat visible from the outside. For this will surely cause him to remove as soon as possible. So I mean, we need some kind of create for us some kind of reminder. Okay, not to do this. Okay. Continue. Number 3, using straight pins. So straight pins, sometimes when they sell shorts, they use this straight pins for to keep things together. So on one end it's sharp, and there is nothing to close. On the other end it's like a head. Okay. So an alternative methods of ensuring that one removes the pins is that the use of straight pins rather than safety pins. One will certainly not leave this in place permanently due to the danger that they may prick him, right? So danger, they may prick him, so and the person would remove them, right? And plus, it's it's very not secure. If you just move the fabric a little more, it's going to get undone. And number 4, the cases of necessity. In case of necessity, where none of the affirmation methods is feasible, one may rely upon the poskim who permit to use safety pins altogether. So whatever is for the baby, so you're not right. So you have to be careful with the baby. Any questions on what we said so far? Okay. Yes, go ahead.
So on the board it says, a question about straight pins.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if using it would be putting oneself in potential transgression of causing blood.
I mean, we have to do it careful that it would stick to the outside, yeah, not in order to prick the person. Right. Is it the question, or they meant something else?
I think so.
That's the question.
The question, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So just be careful. So, but in nowadays, like when people are a little more richer, so just have make sure you have like extra outfit. And even though, like, if it's going to happen in public, most likely you're not going to find anything. Maybe if it would happen in your friend's house, right? That's the difference. So they can give you some safety pins so you can go home at least. Okay. You're welcome. Any other questions or? Okay, no questions. So I guess let's do a few more on this stuff. So it says removing the safety pins. It is prohibited to remove safety pins that was threaded through the garment twice and left there for more than the 7 days. That's it. So meaning it's already tearing. That's forbidden. All right. So one more time, it is forbidden to remove safety pins that were threaded through the garment twice and left there for more than 7 days. Okay, so that's considered to be permanent. And next one, and I guess we can stop, brooch pins. It is permitted to attach the brooch to the garment on the Yom Tov, even by threading through the fabric twice. Then the brooch will surely be removed at the end of the day when the garment is put away. So of course it's for women, because it's for them it's decoration. Men usually don't do that unless it is decoration. So the pins, right? This buttons they call, right? Whatever. So some people would wear them permanently, but for men it's not proper. But for women, usually the brooches, the bands that they're heavier. So and if you leave it on a garment, it's going to destroy, not destroy, but spoil the garment. Okay, that's why they would remove it. So there is no fear that they're going to leave it in place. She would come home and remove it, no problem. Okay. Any questions? On any topic, whatever. Yes, go ahead.
Hey, Rabbi.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Next question. Are we allowed to use Velcro on Shabbos with no specific intention for it to be temporary?
That's a good question. I mean, if you're not intended to be temporary, that's permanent. Right? That would be an issue. So if you use Velcro, I don't know, what do you on a shoes or on a clothing, that's understandable that you're going to undo, but not so simple with the shoes. So for example, some people, they, because of the age, because of like a health issue, like a back issue, they cannot bend. So they would keep this Velcro close all the time. So maybe it would get undone or something. And close it on Yom Tov would be an issue for sure, right? Because they're not going to undo next anytime soon. So on one hand, it's like temporary sewing, right? You can call it sewing on one hand, but on the other hand, it's not. Right? If a person is not planning to undo, sometimes on the jackets, like sport jackets, they have this Velcro, so there's no problem, because if you're going to come home or to the shoe, you're going to undo. But the shoe is not such an easy thing. I'm not sure what else do we use Velcro. I don't know. Okay.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.